So Facebook has just indefinitely banned Donald Trump, the president. Facebook has banned him indefinitely, at least until he is out of office. I want to read you the statement from Mark Zuckerberg, or at least a couple paragraphs of it, because I think it's important to get this news out there. He notes here, the shocking events of the last 24 hours clearly demonstrate that President Donald Trump intends to use his remaining time in office to undermine the peaceful and lawful transition of power to his elected successor, Joe Biden. His decision to use this platform to condone rather than condemn the actions of his supporters at the Capitol building has rightly disturbed people in the U.S. and around the world. We removed these statements yesterday because we judged that in their effect and likely their intent would be to provoke further violence, right? It says here, we believe that the risks of allowing the president to continue to use our service during this period are simply too great. Therefore, we are extending the block we have placed on his Facebook and Instagram accounts indefinitely and for at least the next 2 weeks until the peaceful transition of power is complete. Now, some people are joking about this, saying, whatever, it's just social media, but we have to recognize how essential social media is to political communication in the 21st century. You can't really run large-scale politics without social media anymore. You know, maybe at the local level, you can get away with it, but to be a president, to be someone like that, you need social media. And further, we have to be clear, Donald Trump, more than other top politicians, really relies on social media, not just institutionally, but he is very personally active on social media, especially Twitter. Now, we haven't heard from Twitter yet about whether they're going to extend their temporary ban of the president, but I think they should, and I think this is the right thing to do. Because Donald Trump has definitely used the platform to cause hate and to spread an attack on democracy. He should not be given spaces on these platforms. And it's very ironic because Donald Trump wants to repeal Section 230. And the result of repealing Section 230 is companies like Facebook and Twitter could be held liable for what people like Donald Trump post. So, you know, if Donald Trump got his way legally, they would have had to remove him, or they would be at risk for being sued for the damages caused by what Donald Trump has egged on from his most rabid supporters. But this can't be the only consequence. There needs to be more. Trump's social media needs to be taken away. He needs to be deplatformed, at least until he's no longer in office, but likely indefinitely. He shouldn't be allowed on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or any other platform. He shouldn't be. I know it's extreme to ban someone from all these platforms, but Trump has more than crossed the line. But there needs to be impeachment and or the 25th Amendment. It's inexcusable, I think, that Congress has basically adjourned until Biden comes in. I think that what they're saying is we're just going to let things be. That is dangerous. You cannot let Trump and the people around him that tolerated and condoned this face no consequences. If you do, that's a lesson to future people that they can do the same thing. If they fail, too bad, there's no consequences. But if they succeed, they can overthrow, democracy. There's no consequences right now. There's none. There's not even the slap on the wrist relatively that, Trump will be removed now rather than in 13 days. This is why the progressives are right. AOC, Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, Cori Bush, Jamal Bowman, they are fighting right now to bring consequences to the forefront. Cori Bush is calling for the potential expulsion of anybody in Congress that backed this measly coup attempt. She's doing that. Don't know if that'll succeed, but she's trying it. And more immediately, Ilhan Omar, one of the people most vilified by Trump and his disgusting thugs and supporters, has drafted the articles of impeachment to impeach the MFer again, in Rashida Tlaib's words that she said on the night that she went to Congress. Like, let's be real here. That's what we need. Here's a statement by them and even some relative moderates like Ted Lieu and others. It says here, dear colleague, they're sending this to other members of Congress. I invite you to join me in introducing a resolution to impeach Donald John Trump, President of the United States, for high crimes and misdemeanors. Once again, Trump has violated his constitutional oath to faithfully execute the office of President of the United States and, to the best of his ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. Every single hour that Donald Trump remains in office, our country, our democracy, and our national security remain in danger. Congress must take immediate action to keep the people of this country safe and set a precedent that such behavior cannot be tolerated. That's the bare minimum right now. And it's progressives leading the charge. I don't want to make this about Hakeem Jeffries and some of the Democratic moderates who a couple days ago before this were like, oh, we don't need to impeach Trump. After the Raffensperger tape, they said, we can't look backwards. We got to look forward. You got to look now. Now. These measly mouth corporate Democrats and Republicans that will talk about Trump critically but won't do anything, they gotta step up. He needs to be out of office now, right now. And this is slower than the 25th. The 25th should be considered as well. Basically, to implement the 25th Amendment, you need Trump's cabinet and Mike Pence to turn on him. I don't know how likely it is, but it should happen. He should not be allowed to finish his term as president. It would be an affront to democracy, and it's endangering the entire population, especially those people that have respect for democracy. Banning him on Facebook is great. Banning him on Instagram is great. I sure do hope Twitter steps up and does so as well. Maybe by the time I post this, they will. But he needs to face legal consequences, because the next Donald Trump, and there might be another one, will try this again, and they're going to make sure they do it right.